Assalamu alaikum. Someone sent me a message saying to me, the Muslims in all of the world are celebrating the birthday of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, except the Salafis, the Wahabis, etc. I said, no, not only them, but the Prophet is with them. Is with the Salafis who did not celebrate. His companions are with them. The Tabi'een, the followers of the companions who did not see the Prophet, they are with them. So on which side you are now? You tell me. On which side of the both sides? Are you with those who celebrated but the Prophet didn't do it with them? Or you're with those who did not celebrate it, so you'll be with the Prophet himself and the companions and the Tabi'een. That's a good answer. See, the devil sometimes uses evil means to let you fall in evil. For example, if you want to fornicate, let's go to the discotheque, let's go to the bar, let's go to the nightclub, etc., etc. Or go to that street in Holland, the very famous street, or in Barbès. So, he has evil to let you fall in evil. Evil means to reach evil goals. But sometimes he has good means to let you fall in the evil goal. Emotionally. Just like Christians say. They say, Jesus is the grace of God. He's God's grace unto us. Likewise, there are people in the Muslim world, they say, well, Muhammad is a great grace from God. And Allah said in the Quran, قل بفضل الله وبرحمته فبذلك فليفرحوا هو خير مما يجمعون. Say, it is of the bounty and the grace of Allah, so let them rejoice. It is better for them than all what they collect, what they accumulate. Obviously, they are twisting the verse. It's talking about the grace of the Quran revelation. This is the grace. There's no doubt that the Prophet is grace and mercy from Allah. But nevertheless, the verse is talking about the grace of the Quran here. So they say to you, see that verse? It's very clear. God said this is grace. So you have to rejoice to the grace. You have to rejoice the grace. And we are rejoicing the grace of sending the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So why do you have to criticize us? Why? Why you have to object against us? You are applying this verse. You have to rejoice the favor of God. Is that right? Yes. We're thanking God Almighty for the grace that He sent to us, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now wait a minute. Did the companions celebrate that grace? You're saying that God said, let them rejoice. That means this is a command. This phrase is a phrase of command given by God. You have to do it. So did the Prophet do it after revealing this verse on him? No. That means your understanding of the verse, the way you explain the verse is false. Because if that what it meant, the Prophet and the companions would have applied it. But why they did not apply it while you applied it? This will be automatically an accusation against the Prophet and the companions that they did not apply this verse. Can you imagine it? And that they disregard this verse. The other issue is that while the Prophet and the companions did not celebrate, the Christians keep celebrating the birthday of Jesus, of Isa alayhi salam. So those Muslims you're talking about, they've been affected by Christianity. Christians, even before the Prophet ﷺ, they kept always celebrating the birthday of Jesus. The mediators between the Muslims and the Christians in terms of celebrating the birthday of the Prophet were the Shia. By confession of all scholars, Ibn al-Hajj, al-Fakhani, who said celebrating the birth of the Prophet ﷺ is something that neither the Prophet did nor his companions. It has no basis, no origins. But it had been issued by al-Battalin. Battalin, yani, it means those false people who suffer narrowness in provision. So they issue these things for a better provision for themselves. They make money out of it. And he said, this scholar is Al-Fakhani. He is described by Ibn Hajar, the explainer of Bukhari, that he is a great scholar, even by Suyuti, that he is a great scholar ever. He's a man of Sunnah. So this man said, this will be my answer if I'll be asked about it when I stand before my Lord. That will be my answer. So, if the Shia revived a Christian ceremony in the body of Islam, why do you have to follow them? So from this particular angle, those who celebrate in this particular, don't take me wrongly, don't say Shia completely. No. In this angle, they're Shia. What shall we do? My dear brothers and sisters, do you know that this day of the celebration was a black day, dark day to the companions of the Prophet? You know why? Because this is the day when the Prophet died, the 12th of Rabi' al-Awwal. He died on the same day which the Prophet was born. Many scholars say that the majority of scholars, they say that he was born on the 12th of Rabi' al-Awwal, and he died accurately, definitely, at the 12th of Rabi' al-Awwal. So, which is more important to remember in presence, his birth or his death? That's why the same scholar said, Al-Fakhani, he said, rejoice has no preference over sadness. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful statement. You know what it means? That means Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala caused the death of the Prophet to be on the same date of his birth, 12th of Rabi' al-Awwal. So what do we have to do? Should we celebrate half of the day until the noon, and then from noon until the setting of the sun we keep showing sadness? So do we have to divide the day into two occasions? One rejoicing occasion, and the other part of the day sad occasion. What shall we do? Do you know that this day was to the companions the worst day ever, the darkest day ever? They denied themselves. They denied even the earth they were standing upon. It was the hardest. I can't describe to you the hardness of that day. It was the worst day to the companions. Look what they do today. They give sweets, candies, etc., cakes. Hey! Wait a minute. On that day, particularly, the companions were crying, were sad. Because if there's any kind of calamity on this earth, the death of the Prophet would be the worst calamity. The worst calamity. You may say to me, wait a minute, it is not agreed upon defining the date of the Prophet's birth to be on the 12th. Some scholars say it was the 8th of Rabi' al-Awwal. Some said it was the 10th. Some say it's the 11th. They did not agree accurately, absolutely, that he was born at that day. Fine, I agree with you. Yes. Many people of hadith, as even Al-Kawthari said, that many scholars of hadith, they defined the day to be the 8th of Rabi' al-Awwal. I admit. But wait a minute. That also means that Allah doesn't want the birthday of the Prophet to be celebrated if it's on the 12th. That means Allah doesn't want it. If Allah wants the birth of the Prophet to be celebrated, he would have been letting his death to be on something other than the 12th of Rabi' al-Awwal. Don't you think? Don't you reason? Why Allah made it on the same day? Well, coming back to the other point. Well, he was born on the 8th, as some scholars of hadith said. Okay, I admit. But we have an answer to this as well. It means Allah did not give any consideration for the birth of the Prophet to be a matter of ritual. If Allah wanted it to be something of ritual and rite, He would have been guiding people to know the exact date of Prophet's birth. It's very important. And the other evidence is that the Prophet himself did not talk about it, did not prefer to the people to do it, or even to read Quran on that day. He didn't. Nothing. So this evidence is evidence for us. When you say that it may not be the 12th of Rabi' al-Awwal, I say, okay. That means not knowing the exact date, it is also another kind of divine will. Had Allah wanted it to be defined, He would have been revealing, guiding the Prophet or someone to write it down, to authenticate it, to document the exact birthday of the Prophet ﷺ, but He didn't. So in both cases, you did not get me. No. They will say to you that the king of Erbil, which is in Iraq now, they say that king, who is relative to the hero Salah ad-Din al-Ayyubi, is the one who started this celebration of the birthday. We say no. He's the first one in Erbil. But he took another Sufi person whose name is Umar ibn Muhammad al-Mullah as a model for him. He's a Sufi man. He took it from him. And this Umar bin Muhammad al-Mullah had taken it from the Shia in Egypt, in Cairo, the Fatimis. And it had been started by the leader called Al-Mu'izz li Dinillah al-Fatimi. And the son of Salah ad-Din al-Ayyubi had cancelled these ceremonies, Shia ceremonies, in Egypt. His name is Al-Afdal, the grandson of Salah ad-Din al-Ayyubi. He stopped it, and it returned after him. So this king of Erbil, based on this disagreement between the scholars whether the Prophet was born on the 8th or the 12th, you know what he did? He was celebrating in 1 year on the 8th, celebrating the birthday on the 8th day of Rabi' al-Awwal. On the next year, he celebrated the birthday of the Prophet on the 12th day. Why? You know, putting in consideration the disagreements about the Prophet's birthday. If you say the Prophet was born on the 12th, that means Allah doesn't want the date of the Prophet's birth to be celebrated. If you say it's not defined exactly accurately, we say that means the birthday of the Prophet has no consideration in terms of making it a ceremony. But the amazing thing here, the heartbreaking thing is, how do you celebrate the Prophet's birthday while his death day was a tragedy? How? How dare you celebrate on that day while the companions were crying hard on that day? Now, coming back on the point, did the Prophet celebrate it or not? Sure, they'll say to you, no, the Prophet didn't do it. Is that celebration something that drives you closer to God? They'll say, yes, yeah. Some may say no. But how? How it does not drive you closer to God? While you are giving food, etc., spending a lot of money. How come? So if it doesn't drive you closer to Allah, so what is the value of doing it? That's one. Two, if it drives you closer to Allah, then you'll be troubled with the Prophet's statement, who said there is nothing that I left after me for you that drives you to paradise, but I have ordered you to do. And there is nothing that drives you closer to hell, but I warned you from doing. There is nothing that drives you closer, but I told you to do. But did he tell us about celebrating his birthday? Especially now, it's a feast. They call it feast, Eid. Eid. It's an occasion of rejoice and happiness, while his death was an occasion of sadness. What is better for you? That the Prophet remain with us or the Prophet die? What is better for you? That's why I'm saying to you, the devil traps you by good to let you fall in evil. Now, there's another issue regarding doing something that the Prophet didn't do. So, if the Prophet was able to do, why he didn't do? They may say to you, what about your clothes like this? Was it like that at the time of the Prophet? No. So that's innovation, bid'ah. What about trains? What about cars? What about networking? What about this? What about that? Was it at the lifetime of the Prophet? No. Cars? No. So why do you drive cars? Get a camel? That's what they say to you. Look, based on the sunnah of the Prophet, that he was never been given an option to do something, but there's an easier alternative, but the Prophet used to be using the easier alternative. That's the sunnah of the Prophet. So we're talking about something that was not available at his time. If it was available, I'll swear by Allah that the Prophet would have been using it rather than using the camel. Especially, for example, if there was a tank at the lifetime of the Prophet and the Prophet didn't use it, but he used a very weak weapon like, or let's say, Kalashnikov or M16, okay? If it was available at that time and the Prophet said, no, but we just use swords, okay? That's against the Sunnah. And that's against what Allah said in the Quran, وَأَعِدُّوا لَهُمْ مَا اسْتَطَعْتُم مِّن قُوَّةٍ, and prepare for them the utmost possible power that you prepare. The utmost power. So the Prophet did not use the Kalashnikov and the M16 and he preferred to use the sword. That's not the way of the Prophet. No way. See. But celebrating his birthday was something that the Prophet was able to do. So if he did not do, why do you do what he did not do? They'll say to you, he was busy in jihad. Okay, what about the companions? They were fighting with him. They were busy as well. You know, the Prophet never left the preferable prayers, such as 2 rak'ah before Fajr, 4 rak'ah before Dhuhr, for example, 2 rak'ah before after Maghrib. He didn't leave it. But even, well, we know that in travel he used not to do these things, but only except for the Sunnah of Fajr, he used not to leave it, whether he is reciting or he is traveling. He never left it. The companions never left these things. Duha, he did not leave it. And you say this is a great event. It's even a day of feast, Eid. Wait a minute. Did the Prophet postpone, delay any Eid among those 2 Eids of the Muslims, Fitr, Adha? You say it should be magnified. So why the Prophet did not magnify it? While he was maintaining the 2 Eids we know, Fitr and Adha. Did the Prophet ever say, well, since we are in jihad, this feast of Adha or Fitr, we're not going to celebrate this year. Did he ever say that? No. And you say that the celebration of his birthday should be magnified, should be celebrated. So how come the Prophet who was busy in jihad, he did not stop celebrating the Eid of Fitr and Adha? This is only mere justification to maintain your innovation. Couldn't the Prophet, while he is going to fight and make jihad, talk about his birthday and today we're going to fast, for example, or we're going to celebrate for 5 minutes only because we're busy in jihad? Only 5 minutes. Ya Rasul, something like this. Okay? Would you expect that there's something that worth is thankfulness to Allah? You do it and the Prophet doesn't show thankfulness to Allah? You are thankful, but not the Prophet and his companions? Only the Shia? And before them Christians? And then you? See? Don't be trapped. Those are traps of the devil. Adorning them, designing them for the stupid and foolish people. There's another question. Did Umar celebrate? No. Okay. At least let them set the birthday of the Prophet as an era of the Muslim nation. What did Umar do? No. He used the occasion of immigration of the Prophet from Mecca to Medina as an era for the Muslims. We call it Hijri. So today it's 1441, I think. The year 1441, if I'm not mistaken. So what do you say now? Umar even did not show thankfulness. How dare Umar ibn Khattab uses the immigration of the Prophet ﷺ instead of the birthday of the Prophet. I'm starting to feel as if Umar was Wahabi, Salafist, as they say. Well, some people may say, well, we only study the biography of the Prophet on that day. This is justification. You see, this is only justification. You're trying to make, a bargaining with us. Not all people will be doing this. The bid'ah will remain. This is the fact. I like what Osama bin Zayd said. He said when people ordered him to give advice to Uthman, who was the caliph at that time. He said, I don't like to open a door. He means a door of fitna, tribulations and trials. Opening a door by which I cannot close it. I'll be having no more control to close it. So when you say to the people, this is bid'ah, but it's a good bid'ah, you're opening the way on bid'ah, the door of bid'ah, in which you cannot close. You'll not be able to close it. You'll open it, but you won't be able to close it. As for us, we celebrate his birthday every day. How? Every day? Yeah, by reviving his sunnah, by defending his sunnah. By blocking the way on every innovation. What was considered to be at that time of the Prophet a matter of faith and religion and deen, as we call it, deen in Arabic, religion in English. What was at that time a matter of deen should be today a matter of deen. What was not at that day a matter of deen, it should not be today as a matter of deen. This is the statement of Imam Malik. Because Allah the Almighty said, this day I have perfected, I have completed your religion, I have perfected my favor upon you and accepted Islam as a religion for you. So, do we need this celebration? If you say we need it, that means Allah at that time, He did not complete the favor. He did not complete the religion. When you say that this is needed to be added in religion. See, the religion of God, I'm talking about the bases, the rules, especially the matters of worship. There is nothing called updating. You update a worship that Allah did not issue it. You can't. It's not your business. It's a system was given to you by God Almighty. And the best one among those who worshipped Allah is the Prophet. Don't tell me that you have done all what the Prophet did. all his kinds of worship. And now we need something more than what the Prophet did. Oh, really? Are you better worshiper to Allah than the Prophet himself? Wow, what a big shot you are. They'll say to you that the Prophet was asked about fasting Monday, so he gave an answer to this. He said, that was the day when I was born. They'll say to you, see, this is celebration of the Prophet. Now wait a minute. Fasting should not be called celebration. We fast Ramadan. Then after Ramadan, the next day after Ramadan will be celebration. And it is haram that day to be fasted. Haram. Not all the other days, only the first day. Fasting is a thing and celebrating is another thing. You can't say that celebration is the fasting. No. And the question is celebrating a matter of worship to Allah? Because you're using it to get closer to Allah. So it's a matter of worship. If you say yes, so we say why the Prophet did not apply that kind of worship. So it is worship to you, but it wasn't worship to the Prophet ﷺ. And you want to fast Monday as an occasion of the Prophet's birthday, but you have a problem. What? It has to be on the 12th of Rabi al-Awwal. It's not only Monday. You have to wait maybe 12,000 years, maybe. You have to wait 12,000 years, so there will be an agreement between Monday and the 12th of Rabi al-Awwal. So take your choice. Look, if you want to fast Monday because it's the birthday of the Prophet, you should be fasting every week. You should not leave it. Every week. Did the companions understand this way, but they did not fast because of this occasion? Did any companion fast Monday on the occasion of the Prophet's birthday? No. What about the Prophet himself? No. You are manipulating the hadith. The Prophet occasionally remembered that day he was born. But the Prophet is preferring another day over Monday. The Prophet said that Friday is the best day ever that the sun rised upon. It's the best day ever. On that day, Friday, Adam was born and was exiled from Jannah. This is the best day ever. He's preferring Friday over Monday. And when he was asked about fasting Monday and Thursday, he said those are 2 days wherein the actions, the deeds of people will be explored, presented to Allah. So I want my acts, my deeds on those 2 days to be presented to Allah while I am fasting. Now he explained to you why he's fasting, but he's telling you, on Monday I was born. See, when you are drowning, if you see a stick, you'll be even using small stick as a means of seeking to survive from death. So, by consensus, the Prophet ﷺ was born on Monday. Yes. But there is disagreement about whether 8 or 11 or 10 or 12. So, take your choice. Either 12, and you have to be sad. Or 8, then you have to say, I cannot affirm the Prophet's birthday. I cannot affirm. It's not confirmed to be on the 8th, on the 12th. It's not clear. That's why we say to you, Allah didn't want it. Those are 2 evidences that Allah did not want the Prophet's birthday to be celebrated. If it's on 12, then Allah does not want his birthday to be celebrated. If it's on 12. If it's on other day and we're not sure, that means Allah did not give it that consideration to be as a matter of ritual. Okay? That is the point. Now some people say to you, It is true that the companions did not celebrate the Prophet's birthday because he was among them and they were rejoicing his existence and his presence between them. And I'm not going to cry. But that's how they do it, okay? The companions, they were satisfied with the Prophet's presence among them. But we are deprived from this. At least let us celebrate his birthday because we love him. You love him. Too much? Yeah, too much. More than the companions? No. So they love him more than you? Yeah. Okay. So the companions were satisfied because the Prophet was with them. Yes. That's why they did not celebrate. Yes. What about the Tabi'een generation who are most of them sons of the companions, disciples of the companions? They took religion from the companions. They saw the companions, but they did not see the Prophet. And those two generations were praised by the Prophet, companions and the Tabi'een, next generation after the companions' generation, and they did not celebrate. If you say they were rejoicing the Prophet's presence between them, but the next generations did not have this privilege, and they did not celebrate for that purpose because they were deprived from seeing the Prophet. These are justifications, as I said to you. Those people want to catch any kind of justification because they're defending innovation. They have to defend it. They were born with it. They grew up with it. So they have to defend it. Look, why do we call ourselves people of Sunnah? Because the Sunnah is the causer of unity, while the innovation, bid'ah, is the cause of segregation, division. Why? I can compel you to follow the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, but you cannot compel me to follow your bid'ah, your innovation, because it's not from Allah. It's something you innovated, and you are dictating others to take it. And that will be causing division because not all people will be accepting it. There must be some who will be disagreeing with it. Look, Shafi'i talked about innovation, matters of innovation, like lively kinds of innovation, such as train, etc. He said any kind of these innovations is based on the agreement of the whole ummah. Now, those innovations, new things, sometimes we need them. There is a need for them, for the ummah. There is a need. And that need was not at that time of the Prophet. For example, collecting all the Quran in one book. That did not happen with the Prophet. Yes, parts of the chapters of the Quran were written in different books of the companions, not in one book. Now, the first reason is that the Prophet was still alive and the revelation is descending. And the Prophet used to be saying, put that verse in this chapter and put that verse in this chapter. So it can't be that they, put a final book, all the verses and chapters in one book, unless the Prophet died. So the revelation will be terminated. Then, after the termination of the revelation, then there is a need to collect the Quran in one book, especially when there was a fight, jihad, which used to be called Al-Harra. 70 of the memorizers of the Quran had died. Umar was terrified. He went to Abu Bakr, and Abu Bakr was the caliph at that time. He said to him, we have to do something before a great loss will take place. He said, what is it? He said, 70 among the memorizers of the Quran had died. And I'm afraid that the Quran will be missed. Because that significance of memorizing the Quran in the hearts of the people was abundant. But when most of those companions who are memorizers of the Quran had died, then there is a danger on the Quran. So he suggested the Quran to be written and collected in one book. Then Zayd bin Thabit, whom they assigned to do that mission, he said, are you doing something that the Prophet didn't do? They said, Wallahi, it is good. It is good. And he kept 3 times saying to them, are you doing something the Prophet did not do? Now ask those people, ask Jeffrey, ask those innovators, why don't you say something like that? Are you doing something the Prophet did not do? The second issue is that Abu Bakr was applying the ayah. The other thing is that Abu Bakr was applying this verse. It is on us to collect it. So Abu Bakr was applying this ayah and he collected it. So what Abu Bakr did was based on the promise of Allah that his book will be collected all in one book. And the Prophet said, you should be obeying my sunnah and the sunnah of my rightly guided caliphs. He meant by this Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman and Ali. So what those people do is not bid'ah, is sunnah. By this hadith of the Prophet, he said, follow my sunnah and the sunnah of my rightly guided caliphs. عليكم بسنتي وسنة الخلفاء الراشدين المهديين من بعدي. So what Abu Bakr did was sunnah. You should not be using it to justify the bid'ah. So if there's something that we do while the Prophet did not do, there was a reason for this. There is a sudden need for that, which wasn't needed at the time of the Prophet ﷺ. The definition, our definition of the bid'ah, is something that suddenly was needed for the ummah. They did this while there was a sudden need for it, while the need for that at the lifetime of the Prophet was not needed. Is that kind of celebration needed? No, it's not needed. Especially we see them dancing. You know what it means when you dance? You're attracting people with the members you have in your body, your waist, your chest, your thighs. Oh, come on. If that was a woman, all right, that's another issue. But man dances, especially the way they wear long skirt. A man wears long skirt and he keeps going around himself, spinning. And time by time, the skirt will go up and up and up. Are you attracting people to see your thighs? What do you have to do that? So Shafi'i said, if there's any kind of innovated issue, okay, which all people agreed upon, then it is accepted. Look at the condition here. All people agreed upon, and there is no disagreement among one of the scholars, then it is a good thing to be added. And it is not added in the basis of worship, no. It is a means that enhance the worship. Like, for example, I want to travel to Mecca, make Umrah. Okay, so the means of worship became easier by riding the airplane instead of the camel. That's it. So not the matter of worship itself should be updated or modified. No. You have to ponder upon what Ash-Shafi'i said. لا خلاف لواحد من هذا. If anything of the new things needed to be added as a matter of means to enhance the worship, okay? لا خلاف, that means there is no disagreement about it. And we disagree with you about the celebration of the birthday. And we're Muslims. Why Ash-Shafi'i says that? Because of the base that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had prevented this ummah from agreeing on something which is misguidance, which is a matter of misguidance. That's why he posed the agreement. In other words, you are causing the division of the ummah because you're doing something which the ummah did not agree about. There is no modification in the matters of worship. If some people shed tears on the division of the ummah, we'll be calling it tears of the crocodile if they themselves, by their innovations, will be the cause of the division of the ummah. They are the causes of the division. Some people say to me, we are the majority, vast majority of the ummah. You are minors, you're minority. I say, so we are Ahl Sunnah because we're the majority. That's why the ummah is encountering and facing humiliation, weakness, overcome by the enemies of this ummah, because you're the majority. When we become the majority, things will change. So please, don't use this in the scale, because Allah said in the Quran always, وَلَكِنَّ أَكْثَرَ النَّاسِ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ, but majority of the people do not believe. Most of people to the truth, they are haters of the truth. Most of the people. So don't boast on the matter of majority, please. And also Allah said about the Prophet Nuh, وَمَا آمَنَ مَعَهُ إِلَّا قَلِيلٌ, but none of his people believed in him except little few. So don't put that in the scale. Use another tactic, not this tactic, please. So when we call ourselves Ahlus Sunnah, okay, wal Jama'ah, why do we use the term Jama'ah? Because we represent the Jama'ah, the Prophet and his companions, and we are inviters to the congregation, to the unity of the Ummah, by gathering the people on the Sunnah, confining people to follow the Sunnah. Because the Sunnah joins, the Bid'ah divides, separates. The Bid'ah divides, while ordering people to limit themselves in following the Sunnah. That is good for the whole Ummah, for the unity of the Ummah. And that's true. I remember that one guy said in the beginning of the debate about the Bid'ah, about the matter of innovation. We came to say no for the Bid'ah. They came to say yes for the Bid'ah. So they were talking about themselves, praising themselves over us, saying, we are Ahl Sunnah and you are the people of Bid'ah. I said, excuse me, we came to defend the Sunnah and to say no for the Bid'ah. So who deserves to be called the people of Sunnah? You or us? He couldn't give an answer to that. If you say the matter of celebration is preferred, it's not obligatory, we say yes. But the matter of uniting the Ummah, the unity of the Ummah is obligatory. So please don't advance what is preferred over what is obligatory. And your preferred innovation, celebration, it's affecting the matter of the unity. The Sunnah is not only to do what the Prophet did, but to refrain from what the Prophet did not do. That is Sunnah. Not to do what the Prophet did not do is Sunnah. Not only to do what the Prophet did is Sunnah, but to leave what the Prophet left is Sunnah as well. And the best one among those who worship Allah is the Prophet. You're not better than him. You're not going to exceed him or to do some issues of worship more than him. No. If you say that the celebration expresses love to the Prophet ﷺ, expresses love to the Prophet, see how the devil traps you by emotions. That's what's happening with the Muslims. We love him. You love him. Allah the Almighty said, if you love Allah, then follow me. Then Allah will be loving you and forgive you your sins. See the good consequence of obeying? That you'll be loved by Allah as long as you obey this messenger. So the rewarding of the obedience to the Prophet, confining yourself to his Sunnah, is that you'll be beloved by Allah and your sins will be forgiven according to this ayah. Very clear. Unlike if you innovate, you'll be punished. How? You'll be deprived from drinking from Al-Kawthar, the pool of the Prophet at the Day of Judgment. as well as those who set up partners with Allah, supplicating others than Allah, they'll be deprived from shafa'ah, intercession. Two things will be depriving you. Shirk will be depriving you from shafa'ah. Innovation bid'ah will be depriving you from al-kawthar. 2 days ago I went to a masjid. I could not park the car. It was very hard. Oh my God, the whole area. I said, this is unusual. Suddenly, I found out that they're celebrating the birthday of the Prophet in the masjid. And the masjid is filled, and the whole area is filled with cars. Not on Fajr time, though. Not at any other time, but only on that day. I understand the loving of the Prophet ﷺ, but if you love him, do what he did. It is since the religion is completed, had been completed for you. It's a system that was given to you, and it was said, that's the system of worship. Don't add anything. Don't modify. You shouldn't modify. You and your modification, you will not be reaching maybe 1 or 2% of the Prophet's worship. So why do you have to add? Why do you have to add? I like that word of the Shafi'i. He said, وَلَكِنَّنَا نَتَّبِعُ الرَّسُولَ صلى الله عليه وسلم ولكننا نتبع السنة فعلا وتركا. Imam Shafi'i said, but we follow the sunnah by doing and by leaving. What does this mean? That means the sunnah is not only to do what the Prophet did, but to refrain from what the Prophet did not do. I love that statement of a Shafi'i. But we follow the sunnah of the Prophet by doing and by leaving. It's a very beautiful and wise word. How much more if you know that their celebration is not only dancing, but also saying words of shirk, words of paganism, saying words of shirk. Look at this. This is what they say in their celebration. We ask you, that means, O Prophet, by the one who granted you, specified you with the highest rank, by which all other ranks are down below. Hurry in removing the suffer I complain, for if you did not, then who other than you I'll be asking to remove my suffer? Who else I'll be asking? فبالذي خصك بين الورى برتبة عنها العلا تنزل عجل بإذهاب الذي أشتكي فإن توقفت فمن أسأل. That's what they say.
فبالذي خصك بين الورى برتبة عنها العلا ينزل عجل بإذهاب الذي أشتكي فإن توقفت فمن أسأل. عجل بإذهاب الذي أشتكي فإن توقفت فمن أسأل.
I'm translating it. In another poem they say, يا أكرم الخلق ما لي من ألوذ به سواك عند حدوث الحادث العميم. Oh, who are the best honored person to Allah. I have no one to seek asylum with, to protect me, except you. When I suffer calamity or tragedy or accident or problem, there is no one that I turn to except you. So where's Allah now? Where is Allah? This is mere shirk. That's why I said those people, they're not only innovating a celebration of feast. This is not the only problem. The problem is their dancing. Oh, that's nothing compared to the shirk they commit by saying these words, O Prophet, there is no one else but you that can help us and support us when we suffer calamity or a problem. This is the mere shirk. See, sometimes people go against the Prophet while they claim that they love him. How? For example, he said to them, every innovation is matter of misguidance. They said, no, Not every innovation is a matter of his guidance, of misguidance. There are good innovation and bad innovation. What? So which is better now? The Prophet said, every innovation is misguidance. Okay, we have another statement. Not every innovation is misguidance. Which one is better? Take your choice. Take your choice. If you said, I take the other one, not every innovation is misguidance, you are accusing the Prophet of speaking wrongly, falsely. Because please explain to me. See, due to my experience, 40, 50 years of experience about these issues and debating, etc., I did not come across anyone who explained to me what's the meaning of every innovation is misguidance. I haven't. They don't want to explain it because once they start to talk about it, it will be against them. If they say, yes, we accept it, then it will be destroying their pillars of innovation. Finish. It will be finishing him. Once they admit to the Prophet when he said every innovation is misguidance, that's all. That's it. They will be stunned. You see, if you refuse this, you will be gathered with the people whom Allah described that they said, Sami'na wa asayna. We heard, but we disobeyed. You're hearing the Prophet saying every innovation is misguidance, and you're going against it. Now, yes, you did not say that the Prophet was wrong, but your action tells this. As they say sometimes, actions speak louder than words. So the Prophet said, every innovation is misguidance. And you're saying no. And he said, my father is in hell. That's in Sahih Muslim. They said, no, O Prophet, your father is in paradise. Well, he said it. The Prophet was angry. Oh, the Prophet speaks the truth whether he's angry or not. He was angry, so he speaks falsely. The Prophet said, there's nothing that drives you closer to paradise, but I ordered you to do. They disagreed with him. They said, wait a minute, oh Prophet, celebrating your birthday drives us closer to paradise, but you did not tell us about it. But we're genius people. We love you more than the companions. That's why we're doing it. Can't be. The Prophet said that Allah is in the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is in the height, the sama. They said, no one should be asking where is Allah, is he up or not? No one. That's a false question. But in Sahih Muslim we find the Prophet saying to the concubine, where is Allah? She said, he is in as-sama, in the height, over the heavens, over the skies. And then the Prophet said to the owner of this concubine, free her, for she is a believer. So they say, no, Allah is not in any direction, and that's falsehood. They say we love him, but they're disagreeing with him. The Prophet said, if you ever ask Allah alone. They say, no, not only Allah, we can ask you, O Prophet, because you can hear us, you can see us. Hazar Nazir, that's the Pakistani statement. The Prophet is Hazar Nazir. Hazar Nazir. Hazar Nazir, that means he is present always to everyone. Present, watchful. He is present and watchful. So they're making him the third of the two, the fifth of the fourth, and he is standing over every soul by what it does, what it speaks. They're making him God. Look, if 1.5 billion Muslims today, they raised their hands asking the Prophet from different places, from different or through different languages, but at the same time, will the Prophet be able to hear them all and give them their need all? That's the attribute of God. They're making him God while they don't realize it. So the Prophet said, if you ever ask Allah alone. They said, no. Ask Jilani. Ask Sidi Ahmad al-Rifai, etc., etc. So, how come they celebrate his birthday while they charge him to be a liar? Every innovation is misguidance. No, not every innovation. So, how come they say we love him and we obey him? If you want to celebrate something that the Prophet loves, revive his sunnah. Stick yourself to the matter of worship. Don't innovate. Innovating will be causing division. I don't have to comply to your innovation, but you have to comply to the sunnah, which will be causing the unity of the ummah. But your innovation will be causing the division of the ummah. That's all what I wanted to talk about, and I hope this will be beneficial. I have no copyright whatsoever about my materials that I record, whether to be written or recorded, voice or video. I have no copyright over it. It's for every Muslim. Knowledge is for every Muslim. For every human being. Sorry. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.